individuals who understand and can manage their emotions to respond rather than to react. And that is really important because we all get hot. Sometimes something happens and we just want to lash out, but it's not always the best approach. It's linked to smoother conflict outcomes, emotional intelligences, and better relationships. So trainings that boost this emotional intelligence quotient, I call it, they empower individuals to stay calm, curious, and compassionate during tough conversations. And I think you would agree, that's the toughest part. I know it is for me when I'm in the heat of the moment, having a conversation maybe with someone that I don't necessarily meet eye to eye with. I'm like trying to figure out how to properly respond and like totally reacting, making myself look unprofessional and bad, right? So sometimes that's really tough to corner your emotions and to get on the right track so you can have a productive conversation and possibly move on from whatever drama is there. A second tip is conflict confidence frameworks for leaders. So tools like what they call VITAL, V-I-T-A-L. V stands for verify, I stands for inspire, T is for tackle, A is for agree, and L is for learn. Or you have SBI, that's situational behavioral impact training. So tools like that, or even nonviolent communication or radical candor, they give structure to difficult conversations. Leaders equipped with these types of tools, they set the tone for healthy conflict cultures. So try some of those tactics as well. And I will go over some of those in some upcoming videos, but tools matter. Sometimes we all need some tools in our tool bag or our toolkit of life, right? And we're all not perfect, but we need to find ways that we can be clear, concise, get our message across in a professional way for the betterment of the outcome of the situation, right? A third tip is shared language and style awareness. So understanding conflict styles matters. Nearly 60% of professionals naturally default to a collaborating style because we want to get along. We don't want to be arguing even if we feel like we want to deep inside, but it's really the collaboration effort that's important here. 24% compromise, while only 4 to 7% rely on avoiding the situation altogether, competing, or accommodating. So when teams recognize and respect these styles, empathy can flourish. So when you see things coming or you can evaluate them for what they are, you can better prepare for having deeper conversations to resolve the conflict and to try to dig deeper into that collaboration style of communication. A fourth tip is psychological safety. So I think this is important for everyone. If you feel like your ideas are never heard, or when you say something, it's taken in on the negative or it's not taken in a positive way, it could kind of diminish your opportunities. Plus it diminishes your, I don't know, it's almost like either your credibility, but your internal credibility as well, and your confidence, and just being able to share your ideas. So this has been inspired by Google's Project Aristotle, that psychological safety is all about creating that environment where everyone feels free to speak up within reason, right? And to make mistakes and to challenge the status quo without fear. And if there's no challenge because everyone's afraid to speak up, companies don't grow, people don't grow, ideas don't grow, right? It's a safe space, or creating a safe space. It could turn conflict into more of a constructive dialogue, right? We don't always agree with everyone, and sometimes our ideas that we have are really good, and we want to share those. And the fifth tip is practice makes perfect. Instead of waiting for conflict to occur, embed experimental learning, like simulations, role plays, workshops, put those into your training cycle. So you need to practice. Perfect doesn't exist in my mind. I will never say that, but to practice, it can get you close. So the more that you have it in your training, the more that you work at it, the better that you'll be and the more natural you'll be at it. So this proactive approach, it builds conflict agility and equips teams with real world practice. So what are the benefits that you can expect from all of these different tips? Is when you create a benefit of better resolutions, 95% of people with training, they find positive outcomes in disputes. When you aim towards the benefit of more confidence, around 27% feel significantly more confident post-training. And when you aim towards the benefit of less stress, training reduces fear of toxicity and it boosts that mental well-being because you have that toolkit that you can carry around with you to try to figure out how you can create that emotional intelligence, that collaborative effort, and utilizing the right words and skills in order to feel comfortable and not all jacked up like most of us get. I'm guilty of that as well. So all of these improvements, they lead to stronger retention, better workplace culture, less absenteeism because people want to come to work, they want to engage. And a lot of times people take a lot of time off because they just feel tapped out, right? So more engagement leads to healthier, happier teams. Guaranteed. So I know I've said a lot here, so let's just do a quick recap. You're going to want to invest in emotional intelligence training across your organization if you own one, or if you're a leader. Maybe make some suggestions with your organization on how important that is. Training leaders in structured conflict handling models is really important. Creating a shared conflict style language, incorporating assessments and team discussions. Building that psychological safety into team norms and rituals so it feels normal. And embed experimental learning with simulations and real dialogue experiments so that everyone's prepared and everyone feels engaged and they have the right tools in order to do their job and to emotionally do their job. Because there's a lot of different personalities and people we have to deal with, whether it's in our personal life or professional, right? So here's another pro tip as well that Duke did. So recently Duke University rolled out a conflict resolution course to help staff and leaders sharpen these exact skills. Talk about timely training to this conversation today, right? So do you want to turn conflicts into a springboard for innovation? Ready to empower your team with the emotional mastery and confidence? Let's talk training plans or even fun simulations to get the ball rolling. So do you want to learn how to master these conversations and more with these? That's exactly what I help clients do inside the Clear Method coaching experience. So if you're ready to handle workplace conflict, tough feedback, and toxic or difficult teams and difficult dynamics without losing your confidence or your credibility, check it out. So I hope this content was valuable. I hope you got something out of this. If it was, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we will see you all in the next video.